Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betkraft. All right, today is another beautiful Tuesday morning, and we have come once again, looking at some of the games that we selected amongst the games that are going on across the globe today, and we took our time to make our in-depth analysis on this one before bringing it forward for you. All right, and these are some of the UEFA Champions League qualifying matches that we have, and in a short while, we'll be looking at these games one after the other, and we'll be making our predictions based on the recent games that they played and also how they have performed from home and away perspective. So, in a short while, we'll be looking at these matches one after the other, and I want, to ask those of us who are yet to subscribe to our channel to kindly take our time to hit the subscription button out there so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will be coming up on this channel on a daily basis. All right, that being said, we'll head to the business of the day. Without further ado, we are starting with the first match, which is Rangers coming up against Dynamo Kyiv. We saw them playing out a 1-1 draw in the first half, in the first leg of this very encounter, and as usual, we take a look at how Rangers are fared. We see that they have had 3 draws and 1 win in the past 6 games, and also they have had 2 losses. All right, and Dynamo Kyiv, on the other hand, have won 4 games in the past 6. They've had 1 draw as well as 1 loss, and when you look at how the two teams are fared from home and away perspective, you could see that the home side Rangers have achieved 6 victories in the past 10 home games, but they've also had 3 losses as well as 1 draw in the past recent 10 games that they had so far. All right, while away side Dynamo Kyiv have won 7 games from away, they've also had 1 draw as well as 2 losses from away. All right, and I must tell you, Dynamo Kyiv are a very strong side. We saw how they performed in the first leg, and they were the first to score in that very encounter. And Rangers took it, equalized late on that very encounter. But I believe that in this very encounter, Dynamo Kyiv is going to give more, in this very game. So we do expect to see their west side of this very encounter winning or drawing, and on that 3.5. That's our verdict. I will win or draw on that 3.5. That's our verdict for that very game, and that takes us to the next for today, and it is also UEFA Champions League qualifying match. We'll have PAOK Salonika of Greece coming up against Malmo, and PAOK Salonika have won 2 games, they've lost 3, and they've also had 1 draw. And their away side Malmo FC have been able to manage 3 wins, 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And looking at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side, PAOK Salonika, have been able to achieve 7 victories in the past 10 home games that they played out so far, and have lost on 3 occasions. And the away side Malmo have been able to achieve 5 wins from away. They've also had 4 losses as well as 1 draw in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. And what you've mentioned is the fact that for the home side PAOK Salonika, they've actually seen a high scoring encounter on 7 occasions out of 10. Have seen actually a scoreline that is over 2.5 in the recent games that they played. And away side Malmo FC have seen over 2.5 also 7 times out of 10 in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. And they're also looking at the last time the both teams met, which was the first leg of this very encounter last week. We saw them playing out a 2-2 draw, and we do expect to see also a repeat of that in this very encounter. A lot of goals appearing in this very game. Verdict is actually an over 2.5. We're going to see a minimum of 3 goals occurring in this very encounter. It is an over 2.5. That's a verdict for that very game, and that takes us to the next for the day. Also in UEFA Champions League match, we'll have Fenerbahce coming up against Lille of France, and Fenerbahce have won 5 games in the past 6 recent encounters. They've also lost 1, and Lille also have won 3 games. They have drawn 2, but have lost just 1 game in the past 6 recent games that they have played so far. And when you look at how these 2 teams are fared from home and away perspective, you can see that Fenerbahce have actually won 9 games in the past 10 home games that they played out so far. So they've won 90% of their home games and have lost 1, being a friendly match against Hajduk Split on that occasion. And Lille, on the other hand, have been able to achieve 5 victories from away. They've also had 3 losses as well as 2 draws in the past 10 away games that they had so far. All right, and when you put all that together, looking at also the head-to-head for both sides, the last time they met was last week in the first leg of this very tie. We saw Lille from winning by 2-1 in France on that occasion. So in this very one, seeing that Fenerbahce is a side that actually does very well from home, and there are also the stars on this side. So we do expect to see result slightly favoring Fenerbahce in this very one. So it is the home side to either win or draw once again, and under 4.5. That's what value for this very game. Home win or draw plus under 4.5. That's what we expect, and that takes us to the next for today, and it is in England. If a League Cup, actually Carabao Cup, where we have Chelsea United will be up against Stoke City. All right, and Chelsea United have been able to achieve 2 victories. They have also lost 3, and have had just 1 victory in the past 6 games that they have so far. And looking at Stoke City, their away side, they have had 4 victories in the past 6. They've also had 2 losses in the past 6 recent encounters. And when you take a look at how these 2 teams have performed in recent times, considering their home and away performances, you could see that Chelsea have managed to just 1 victory in the past 10 home games. They've also had 1 draw, as well as 8 losses in the past 10 home games that they have so far. And Stoke City, their away side, on the other hand, have had 7 victories playing from away, but they've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. So when put all that together, you could see that Stoke City is a much more stronger side, and they are actually expected to achieve a result in this very encounter, and we do expect an away win outrightly in this very one. So away to win, that's our value for this very encounter, and that is going to take us to the next for today, and it is taking us to Egypt, where we have Egypt Premier League, where we have Ismaili, who will be up against the Arab Contractors. Okay, and as usual, we will look at how they fared in recent games, and we will say that Ismaili, the home side, have won just 1 game, and they've also lost one. They've also lost 4 games in the past 6 games that they played out so far, achieving 1 draw. And Arab Contractors, their away side, have won just one game. They've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses in the past 6 encounters. And when you take a look at the performances from home and away perspective, you can see that Ismaili, the home side, have managed to achieve 3 wins in the past 10 home games. They've also had 3 draws, as well as they've also had 3 draws as well as 4 losses in the past 10 games that they played out so far. But what you've mentioned is the fact that they lost up against the strong sides of this very league. We'll see them losing to ZFC by 2-1, also losing to Al Ali, Pyramids, and Al Masri. And all those 4 losses, came in their matches against a very top side of this very league. And looking at the away side, also Arab Contractors have managed to achieve just 2 victories in the past 10 away games. They've also had 3 draws as well as 5 losses in the past 10 away games that they have so far. So, and when you look at this situation, you see that these 2 teams are evenly matched, but I believe Ismaili, who's playing from home, is actually slightly better, seeing that their losses are actually quite minimal. Seeing that they usually lost 2-1, and they usually lost with 1 goal. In all their losses. So, and we've seen Arab Contractor losing heavily 4-0, 3-0, and 3-1. And when you look at the recent head-to-head meetings for both sides, Arab Contractor played from home on those 2 occasions, and it ended in a draw. We saw them playing out a 2-2 draw and also a 1-1 draw, as a match this year. So in this very encounter, we do expect the home side, Ismaili, to achieve a better result in this one, and we don't expect them to lose outrightly. We actually expect them to either win or draw, and under 3.5. That's what we expect. Home win or draw, and under 3.5. That's our practice for that very one. And that takes us to the next for today. It is also in English, in the Egyptian Premier League, where we have a National Bank of Egypt who will be up against the FACO. All right, the National Bank of Egypt have won 2 games, have had 1 draw as well as 3 losses. And the away side, on the other hand, FACO have won 2 games, 3 draws, and 1 loss in the past recent 6 games that they played out so far. And when you look at the performances from home and away perspective, you could see that the home side, National Bank of Egypt, have won 4 games in the past 10 home games that they've also had 4 losses as well as 2 draws in the past 10 home games that they played out so far. And the away side, FACO, have managed just 1 victory. They've also had 5 draws and 4 losses in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. And when you put all that together, you see that these 2 teams are quite evenly matched, And when you look at Paco home record, they have actually won 4 games, just like the home side. And looking at how they fared in recent games, you will see that the last 2 times both teams met saw Paco winning on both occasions. Even though they played from home on those 2 occasions, we saw Paco defeating National Bank by 1-0. That was March this year. Prior to that, we also saw them, last year defeating the side by 1-0. All right, so it is Paco who's having a slight advantage in this one, seeing that the last 2 times both teams met, have always seen them, winning on those 2 occasions. So in this very encounter, we don't expect the away side Paco to lose outright. Actually, we do expect the away side Paco to achieve, a minimal of a draw. So it is away side winning or drawing and under 4.5. That's our verdict for this very encounter. All right, that brings our predictions for you today on Betkraft to a conclusion. All right, I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green. And remember to play responsibly. These are football games. Anything can happen, and it can change the course of the game. We all know that. All right, that being said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions yet live on Betkraft. All right, do not miss out. All right, but until then, keep winning.